Namaskar. So, what happened in the last few days in Manchester, England, should make sobering reading. I don't know if you remember, but I had also mentioned an incident where the brother of the Emir of Qatar tried to have two of his US employees bumped off. He actually threatened them that if they didn't do his bidding, he will bump them off. One of them, who was his physician attender 24 by 7, while in Qatar, he tried to escape by scaling a 15-foot fence, and then he jumped to the other side, broke his leg, but he was dragged back into the palace and he was treated for his leg injuries for a month, and he really struggled before he could get back to the United States. Now, there is a lawsuit pending on that one, and that has been making its way through. This started in 2019, and now it's going to probably go into the front burner, and it's going to be probably fought in Boston. I told you about all these things in a previous hangout. What I'm about to say now is something even more, or I should say something similar. So, what has been happening is that in October of this year, there is a Chinese consulate building in Manchester. And in that Manchester, in front of that building, there was a satirical picture of Xi Jinping, and a protester essentially tore down that. And what happened after that was something amazing. The six people from the consulate came out and dragged this person who was protesting. He calls himself Bob. They dragged him into the compound and they administered a lot of blows. And then they threw him out. So this all happened sometime in October. There is video footage, there's video proof of all this having happened. Now, when it came turn for the United Kingdom government to question these diplomats on that incident, rather than answering those questions, the Chinese government decided to pull all of them back to China. Now, this is sort of like, every time a foreign diplomat comes to another country and commits a crime, they try to hide under this diplomatic immunity. This has happened far too many times in the United States as well as in the West. I mean, these people think they are extra super human beings and that the laws don't apply to them. I mean, as much as many of the politicians across the world think so, the law is the same for everyone. It's just the person who is entrusted with applying the law, that person has to show spine and act according to the law. Anyway, that's something that I've been passionate about for a long time, so you all know about it. But again and again, what we are seeing is the total, utter disregard for the rights of a human being. And the news is now coming from China that Beijing is practically locked out, or it's a self-lockout. They have removed all the restrictions about COVID. They are not testing people every day, but the country and the city, especially, is going through a terrible phase of new COVID infections. And you might have seen Eleanor Ewan's video. I'll put a video link for that also. I'll also give you the story link from the web on this particular incident about how diplomats, whenever they are confronted with the reality, they try to escape. So, what are the rights of a human being? You know how much trauma the Hong Kong individual would have gone to before he moved himself to United Kingdom. So, it's just basic right to poke fun. That is what democracy is about. Democracy gives you freedom of speech, freedom of action. So, if there was any law transgressed, let the law take the action. Why should the Chinese consulate officials think that, oh, these laws don't apply to us? And if you're going to ask us more, we're just going to, go back to China. This kind of a withdrawing behavior without facing your consequences is not good. And why is this happening? Because the top guy is a crook. He thinks that the laws don't apply to him. So my 2 cents of observation here is some of these egregious violations of human rights by consular officials has to be acted upon by the local government. If you are enjoying the local government's hospitality, you should also submit yourself to some of the basic laws. If somebody, as much as you have the right to perhaps deny visa to this protester to come to China, he has every right to, again, within law, within the bounds of law, to express his protest. How many families have been broken apart because of all these draconian restrictions being laid on what used to be a thriving democracy? Hong Kong, as a business capital is practically finished, with a lot of that stuff moving to Singapore and perhaps to other countries also. So it is something that the Chinese government needs to reflect. There is a new order. Outside of China, all your barbarian attacks and total disregard for human life doesn't work. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.